5, 16, 19, 21, 33, and 10. Check results. You remember?
This isn't plugged in right, I'm sorry, but I just felt like it might not be. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, like, half the time it just sounds like stereo, sometimes it sounds staticky, and sometimes it actually just sounds like how it should sound. I miss my other mic, it just worked. But here we are. 200 and something, yeah. Opinions are wild, you know, the crins are crazy. Before I was done, I was just humming along. Post Malone, you know, new album. I talked about it. Austin, I liked it. I ranked it. I can say it more concise now. Before I'm gonna know about it, but I eventually spat out my overall opinions, which were in order from 5 to 1 of his albums. It for me, it goes 12 Carat Too Fake, Hollywood's Bleeding, Stoney, Austin, Beer Bongs and Bentleys. As of right now, as of my mind in this moment. And I feel like, you know, I listen to a lot of album reactions, so I like to do that if I like the album. And there wasn't a crazy amount of them, but all of the ones I saw and all of the feedback on Twitter, right, it's all very positive. It's all like, oh, this is one of his best. This is really good. It's such a good vibe. It's sort of Barbie Oppenheimer vibes in terms of the yin and yang of it, because it came out on the same day as Utopia, which I still haven't listened to. But then it's like, it's just weird. People have this misconception, I feel like, about films. Like snobby film critic people will watch any film that people like en masse and just say it's bad, and but they'll like some art house film about a pigeon or whatever, and they'll say it's amazing. And it's like, that's not even necessarily true, because if you look at like a bunch of Marvel movies, I think they only have one movie that is actually rotten on the tomato meter. Like, if you look at, like, you know, even like, you know, so like Spider-Man, Avengers, Iron Man, like, they all have like really high ratings on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, like the critic score, things like that. Whereas music, I would say more so than anything, it actually has that nature. And don't get me wrong, there's still snobby people in film as well, but like in music even more so. Like nothing is good, nothing is ever good. Like I'm not, maybe I just have bad taste, but I'm looking through all the albums I like and stuff. Just sometimes I'm just curious, you know, you go on Pitchfork or something, and it's like 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, and I just don't. I think on Pitchfork maybe it had like a 4. They was basically saying it was like one of his worst albums, which I just don't get. You know, they gave like, I don't know, it's just weird. And then I checked Fantano. I never watched Fantano's videos, but I'll just like skip to the end. I like scrub to the end and like see what number he gave it. And he gave it a strong 3. And it's just like, and to be fair, I don't think he, you know, he also gave a lot of his albums like that. I think the only album he gave like a decent score was Beer Bongs and Bentleys, and even that was like a 5 or a 6. It was nothing like crazy. I felt like he gave Stoney like a 3. Beer Bongs and Bentleys, I want to say he gave like a 5 or a 6, and then like 12 Carat Tooth and Hollywood's Bleeding, I don't know what score he gave him, but I bet it was probably below 5. And it's just like, I don't get it, man. Like, taste is a crazy thing. Like in all things, food, art, you know, whether that be cinema or music or whatever. It's like, it's just crazy how like one person can digest intake the exact same thing as somebody else, and one person thinks it's the best thing in the world, and another person thinks it's dog shit. And it's just like, wow. Because to me, that Post Malone album, sick album. Like, I think I took, and I don't take a lot of songs of albums. I liked the Dominic Fike project that he just put out. I probably took 2 songs off it though, 3 songs off it. Off of this album, I think there's 15 songs, maybe 15 or 16 or 17, somewhere around that. I took about 13. Like, I took all but 2. Enough is Enough is probably my least favorite on there, but I near enough took every song off the album. Enough is Enough and Chemical I didn't take off. But if I was, but at this point I basically don't even listen to the songs in the playlist. I'll happily listen to the album all the way through, no skips. It's a no skip album. I didn't take all the songs off it, but it's a no skip. I'll listen to Enough if it comes on, but you know, it's a great album. It's not good. It's not like banger after banger in terms of like just charting songs. In terms of like Beer Bongs and Bentleys just has like all of these kind of songs like that. And also he hasn't really done a vibe like Beer Bongs and Bentleys really since that. Like, he's went down more like rock and like country sounds and like good, you know, just acoustic guitar sound and stuff since that moment. So you don't really get much of that more like that earlier sound. which is, I hope he does like one more album at least where it's like another Beer Bongs and Benny style sound, because I don't think he's lost. Like you can tell that even in these songs, he still has like he knows how to write a hook. He knows how to. His melody is crazy, but yeah, I like it. I feel like in the second verse of Nova Candy is the only point on the whole album I think where you get sort of Beer Bongs and Bentley's era post. But yeah, this is a different vibe. It's acoustic. It's more like there's more beautiful songs on. I think my favorite song on there is probably like on and on. There's something special to me. It's essential to me. I don't remember how the songs go. He sings it better than that. But yeah, it's just crazy. Strong free, you know. And then you go on there, it's like the hi hats by the big bongos, by the African small drums, or some like boom, ba-ding, ding. It's like Squidward music. You know when you hear, I can't really remember what the episode's about, SpongeBob, but Squidward is like dancing or something, and there's music playing in the background, or it's Squidward's band. I can't remember why but the music is like bing bing boom bling, like it's some weird shit, and it's like for Fantana that's a 10 out of 10 album, you know what I mean? So yeah, and I need to get into more artists, because at the moment what I usually do is I make a playlist every year titled the name of the year. So this year's one is called, you guessed it, 2023. And to that playlist throughout the year, I'll just add songs I find that year. So I haven't got to come out that year, but songs I find that year. And then throughout the year, I just basically play that playlist. I don't shuffle it. I'm not a shuffler. So I play it in order to a point where if I hear a song on the radio, which is unlikely because the songs I listen to won't really be on the radio, but if I did hear one in public or something, when that song ends, like when it goes doo 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 doo, when it fades out, whatever song is next in my playlist, if I'm just out in public, will start to play in my head. Obviously, it's not going to play because it's not the same thing, but like by the end of the year, the whole playlist is basically one long song to me, because like I could recite every single one, not just off the top of my head now, but if I heard the end of a song, I would know what it plays into next. Because I don't know, I'm not a shuffler. I like the order. I like listening to that order. So in the year of 2023, I listen to the songs I found in 2023, and then the second we go into 2024, I'll start to make a new one, and I'll probably very rarely even revisit the ones prior. So I have a very small collection of songs I'm listening to really at any given point in time and in general. So you know, for an album to drop, and me to have like a whole bunch of like 15 whatever songs to go into that, it's a crazy. And you know, Brockhampton were contributing a lot to that. So now that they're not a thing anymore, that's depleting it a lot. Although you could argue you could get more music because everyone's doing individual stuff, but I don't think that will drop as regularly as there was when they was together. Although I remember seeing Kevin Abstract's album on the way, which I look forward to listening to, because The Family I actually think is a really good album, and that's just Kevin on it. So I look forward to that. I think out of the members whose albums I'd actually listen to solo projects, I think I'd listen to a Matt Champion project, I'd listen to a Kevin Abstract project, I'd listen to a Joba project, I'd listen to a Bareface project. I wouldn't listen to a Merlin project probably, or I wouldn't run to it. And I wouldn't run to listen to a Dom project either. And I think he actually has one out maybe, or at least a couple songs. Not, I mean, maybe I would, but I don't know. I'm not running to it. I actually have things I'm meant to be talking about. I don't know if it's rambled on for about 8 minutes. There was a bunch of other things. I saw the thing that's coming to my head right now. Oh yeah, Jake Paul fought Nate Diaz, but I'll say that for tomorrow now because I left it too long. And what was the other thing? Oh, fight. Another fight. This one, bare knuckles and not a sport or officiated. Actually, the official got out of there ASAP. Definitely not officiated. There's some baseball game. I've never seen this. It was like a 1940s movie. Like I don't know what the guy says to him. It's like a baseball game. I'm not sure who's playing. Baseball, known as being quite a boring sport, especially now. They're not really looking to like innovate in many ways. Since kind of dying, I feel like, and like the stadiums never look full whenever you see highlights and stuff. It's like a guy catches a home run, and it's just like him in the crowd and just empty seats around him. But like the guy says something to him, and then he's like it instantly sees red, takes his glove off immediately because he's like, I'm not fighting with a glove on my hand. And immediately it's like Charlie Chaplin, Black and White 94, and he's like, put him up, and he's like got his fists up and stuff. It actually looks realistic, like more like GTA. Like he looks like a fucking playable character. It's crazy. Ouch. Um, so he kind of squares up in a very sort of, you know, way, and then he swings, and he's actually looking like he's doing a bit better. Like he gets like some stronger punches in, but then the other guy, like, he's like down and then he gets like up, because obviously people are all jumping at this point. Not the ref. The ref or whatever he is. I know this isn't UFC. He's not actually got to get in there and put his hand, wave it off and stuff. Like he's not trying to get chinned himself. He kind of stepped back and was like, I don't get paid enough for this shit, and just like disappeared into the bushes like Homer Simpson. Like immediately he exits the shot so quickly. He's like, oh, I don't know if fights break out in baseball a lot, but it was kind of like a, oh, I know what's about to happen here, as if like he sees this all the time. I don't know if it is that regular, but especially because like I don't know what fights are like in other sports, but because in football it's not a thing. No one wants to get sent off. I don't know if they got sent off. No one wants to, and even if he just didn't care about getting sent off in that moment, it's weird because like no one in football, and I've been watching it for a long time, ever gets so mad where they'll actually punch someone, or that I can think of or remember. And you would have thought, even if like you're trying to control your anger and stuff, and most of the time when you're arguing with someone, you're just trying to get them mad so they get themselves sent off, all right? But like it's usually at most it's pushing, they'll push, or at most they might like push someone's neck. But like you never see anyone ever just lose it and like, you know what, no, I'm scrapping you right now. Which is just crazy because people are saying the wildest shit. When you see a footballer like do this, you know they're saying some mad shit under there. They don't want the cameras to hear. When they're fighting, that is. Um, but yeah, so the guy who starts the fight actually looks like he's doing better. The other guy looks like he's getting dragged away. But then he like he cranks up this like this right hook. This, I don't watch boxing. This fucking the big swinger, right? And the guy in the video, it looks like he barely touches him. Like it looks like it kind of like at most like skimmed maybe the front of his nose or something. The angle just makes it look like it basically misses. But the guy, like he basically gets knocked out like his, and again very dramatic, sort of looks like a game. It's like boom, and then like falls onto his back and stuff. And it's just like, this is why you don't fight. If you ever wanted a advert for why you shouldn't just fight, because it's always an ego thing. It's like, you said what to me? Nah, I gotta defend, I gotta show who's who, I gotta show you can't just chat shit to me. But the thing is, not everyone can have that mentality, because you're not gonna win every fight. So you wanna have this mentality, right? That's like, nah man, you say anything to me, you're gonna catch these hands, because I ain't no pussy. And it's an ego thing, right? But like, unless you're actually the top dog amongst everyone, half the time you're probably losing the fights, and that's just more embarrassing if you don't fight at all. Like I never in Scott never, I'm never partaking in that, because it's just like, you know, the likelihood or the chance that you then get beat up and it's a video and it's like going around the place, it's like it's more embarrassing in the first place you just didn't fight. It's like the guy who started it and like takes the glove off like, no, scrapping. It's like, you just make it so much worse for yourself, because now there's a video of you saying, look, I'm gonna beat you up because you, and then you getting chinned. Like if you're gonna start a fight, know that you're gonna win. Like you need to, and I'm sure he thought in his head, he backed himself clearly, but it did not work out, and it weren't worth it, man. It weren't worth it. I'm the referee. I'm stepping back. I'm Switzerland or whatever. I hate people who say that phrase, but hey, I'm Switzerland. Because I'm not trying to get rocked. You know, I'm not trying to. And it's like, I don't mind getting rocked if no one else is around. It's just the fact that you're, you know, it's on Twitter, it's everywhere. You're an L. That's an L, and you're a meme now. So I'm trying to say. And like, you can never act up now in the future, because like, oh, okay, really, man, yeah, we got this fish. I know he got beaten up by an equally bigger guy, but even still, you're still gonna get 14-year-olds trolling you, like, yeah, sure, mate. So it is what it is. That's all. It's not all. There's more, but that's all I have. That's all I'm willing to give right now. I just want football, man. I've been watching, like, not really watching, but I've been like basically what, like, not Champions League. I wish Championship, but Community Shield. Like, because Women's World Cup's been going on, I ain't been watching that, but there has actually been some good scenes going on. Like, Jamaica's got through. out the groups after being defunded. They couldn't even afford to get there, to GoFundMe pages to get there. Like, I think what's better about women's football now is there's actual limbs. So like the moments actually look cooler and stuff. Like today, Sweden went through against USA off of like some dramatic VAR penalty type thing, and like that was cool. The limbs, I saw that on Twitter. Just getting excited for football. I've seen some championship stuff. Community Shield obviously was today. Championship, who was it? Leeds, last minute goal. Somerville, who's a baller by the way. I would be surprised if he don't get snapped up and he stays down in the championship, in the Champo. But it's just making me want, like, I just want Prem ball. Because ball's ball, right? But I want Chelsea playing. I want some Premier League football. I want the drama and the embarrassment and everything that comes with it, the eyes and the nose. Yeah, it's just teasing me. It's getting me excited. It's not till about this time next week now. So, yeah. I stop saying that. I keep unironically saying it is what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to that song she wrote. That's all she wrote. I really need to pee right now. Yeah.
Here with the kids, and had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,